Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well, everyone. Here we go. So, the match today, don't worry, the camera is going to appear any second. It's just because of, I was on a different format before. So, yeah, there we go. So, the match today is going to be Juventus versus Wydad Casablanca. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Let's read your message here, Kieran, because I didn't see it just then. Juve's first game was too late for me to watch. I'm guessing they performed well. Yes, they did. They performed extremely well. Juventus here is kickoff right now, and it has just begun here. We're about 3 seconds behind there, which is good. There we go. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Yeah, Juventus played extremely well against the Align. They gave them all the, trouble there. They were very strong on the possession front, very strong pressing. Align really had no sorts of structure that they could work with, really. And so far, the kits, Juventus will be wearing this beautiful kit that I'm wearing right now. And Casablanca will be wearing a blue-ish kit. But we have, of course, got them here with the nice red. I actually might make Juventus's background white just so we can actually see the badge there, because it was pitch black. And you're tipping Juventus. Yeah, definitely Juventus is going to be getting the W here, I do think. Wydad, of course, might pull an upset, but Juventus just looks so strong in their attacks. And has there ever been the game before while you're streaming? No, so I always stream the games in a separate stream, so that's why I haven't missed a Club World Cup game yet, Gabe. And also, welcome back, Gabe. Hope you're having a nice day. Let's get straight into these lineups here, though, however. So, the lineups will be for this match. Yeah, 3-1 definitely is going to be a clear possibility. We could see Wydad pull a score, but I do think, yeah, Juventus might even walk away here with a clean sheet. For the lineup, we have for Juventus, not many changes. Di Gregorio as the goalkeeper, Kelly, Savona, and Kalulu as the defenders. Cambiosa, Thuram Ulien, who is Marcus Thuram's brother, McKennie and Costa as the midfield, Yildiz and Conceição as the forwards, and of course Kolo Muani as the striker. Kolo Muani is going to be one to watch along with Francisco Conceição, because Conceição is insanely good. Kolo Muani's been great form for Juve. For Wydad Casablanca, Benabid is the goalkeeper, Mufi, Butoy, and Ferreira are the defenders. We have Majers, Zemraoui, Mubarak, and Mufid as the midfield. And then, of course, we have Amrabat, Obeng, and Lorch as the forwards there. Of course, Nordin Amrabat is the one to watch for Casablanca because he is just so good. He is definitely the most experienced player on the team. He is the captain, and he is also he showed quality against Manchester City, and that is something that we might expect from him today against Juventus. Games of the tournament so far for me would have to be Sundowns versus Dortmund. It was just such a surprisingly good game. Not one you would expect. You know, there's so many other games there, like Real Madrid, Al Hilal. We had City versus Casablanca. Of course, we thought that might have been a big scoreline. Auckland versus Bayern showed a big scoreline. But yeah, definitely for me, Sundowns versus Dortmund. We had a mix of good football and a big scoreline, which is what we love to see. And that is a nice cleanup from Juventus's defense. Of course, cleared by Kalulu. And it is just one back by Costa, brought down to Kalulu. And then Di Gregorio is just going to do a nice little pass to Thuram through the midfield. And you joined the Discord. W, Gabe, thank you for joining the Discord. Appreciate everyone who joins up, likes and subscribes for, help on the channel. It really is a big difference to me. You're sorry you kept joining and leaving. It's just that you're leaving your grandma's house and it's kind of hard to stay in the stream all the time. No problem. No problem. Definitely come when you are available, when you can. It's all good. Here is Juventus in the defense. We've got now Savona. Savona just holding the ball up a little bit while Obeng does press. Of course, Casablanca are using a 5-4-1 formation, similar to last time around, and Juventus a 3-4-2-1. Of course, the coach for Juventus, Igor Tudor, the same as before. And Amin Benahacem is the coach for Casablanca. And no problem, Gabe. Thank you so much. Yes, hopefully the game is going to be a good one. At least I'm predicting that there's not going to be a 0-0 here. So, yeah, hopefully a lot of goals. And I'll see you next time, Gabe. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hello, King Dooms. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, liking every stream. That's a W, Ion. That's a W in itself. Liking up, smash like. And this is now Juventus just playing it from Savona onto Kelly. And that is going to go back here to Savona. And now Kalulu. Yeah, Vamo Juve. I'm rocking the Juventus kit today. Of course, we'll keep my neutrality. However, just wearing it out of coincidence, really. You think a 0-0? Think a 0-0. I mean, it's for sure, might be a possibility. It really just depends if Casablanca are going to park the bus here, which it seems like they are. They've got 2, 4, 6 defenders back. And the rest of their squad is very compact centrally, just where the Juve's players are. We do know that Juventus loves to press, through the center. You're predicting there, Ian, 4-1 for Juventus, which I do see as a very possible scoreline. I actually think that might be the scoreline. I'm also going to predict a 4-1 there. The fluke goal of a 1 for Casablanca could be definitely one of promise. And why is Savona playing at centre-back? He was more of a fullback this year. I'm questioning that. I was wondering the same. I really thought that they were going to play, someone like Federico Gatti in the midfield, in the defense there. And there is a shot, and it's a goal for Juve. Really early on, 1-0, and it's by Yildiz. Nice and easy there, just rolls over the keeper. And not really much trying there from Juventus. Poor goalkeeping from Benabid, and that is 1-0 already. And this looks like it's going to be a big one for a scoreline. Of course, a lot of Juve fans out in the stadium here, actually, because Juventus, one of the most popular teams in the USA, just because of the sheer amount of American players on the team, but also because their kits, you can say, are very fashionable. Nice kit design, as per usual, with Juventus. And it's just, that nice little play from Thuram's brother there, just passing it over to Yildiz on the overlap, and that is a goal for Juventus. One to be proud of there for that team play. It's actually a deflection. It might have been a own goal, actually. Fortunately, Yildiz doesn't look like to be the recipient. Yeah, it's going to be an own goal, most likely. High clicks. It's okay if you're lagging, Hopefully your internet gets better, though. Nice link-up play. Yeah, Thuram is really, proving some quality here in this midfield. Definitely, I feel like this Thuram Ulien, is definitely going to be maybe better than his brother. I know his brother's good in the striker position, but this Thuram seems very, fluent with the ball. He seems like he can link up play in the midfield, and he definitely seems like more of a team player rather than, the striker type where we have, the passes from the midfield into the striker and then trying to finish. This Thuram Ulien is going to be one to watch in this game as well. And yeah, Yildiz is good. I love him. Some people said I looked like a combination of Dybala and Yildiz. I actually had a lot of comments for saying I look like Dybala, which is crazy. I got like 20 comments about it. Dad, red team more like. Yeah, well, that's probably all they're going to be celebrating today, unfortunately, Wydad, because they are going to be on the shackles here of this game. The second half of the season, Thuram has come into his own. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely shown he is different from his brother. Unlike really the Bellingham brothers are sort of similar in a sense. I feel like Job is more of a DM rather than an attacking midfielder. And Jude, of course, more of that striker attacking midfield type. But yeah, Thuram Ulien is looking to be his own sort of player here, and I appreciate that from him, trying to build your own sort of reputation. Especially now their whole family, really. Lilian Thuram, the right back, and then we also have Marcus and Thuram Ulien there with their different positions. Job was playing high up. Yeah, he was playing high up against Sundowns. When he came on in the first game, he was playing almost that DM position that I really think he actually played better in that DM rather than the AM against Sundowns, because he was, looking very sharp in the passes, finding link up between Chukwuemeka and also I think Bino Gittins when he came on. So definitely I feel like Job should consider, moving to a DM position, or at least, transitioning midfield. You can go up to the AM, then drop deep when needed. Wydad fans in the crowd there at full force. There are so many of them continually, with the scarves like this, trying to support their team. Unfortunately, it's going to be probably another loss for them. Hopefully they get a win against Align in the final game of this tournament for the group stage, because their fans definitely deserve at least some sort of result from, their attendance. Their players, are trying really hard to get something here. They did try against City. They held City to a 2-0, which is very impressive. But here it just proves as well that Juventus, a much stronger team in this tournament compared to City, surprisingly. I did not have Juventus on as, a stronger attacking team. but they seem to be adapting more to these outside of European squads, such as Wydad, Align. Maybe they'll do get good against the South American teams, so we'll have to wait and see. And there's a cross cleared away by Casablanca. It's now going to be with the ball. Yildiz just trying to find a nice pass through. Sorry, not Marcus. Thuram Ulien. I'm just going to call him Ulien so we don't confuse him. And there's a little play still held up nice and easily by Ulien there. Just really trying to find some space. It's now Yildiz with the ball. Ulien. Kolo Muani dropping on this left side. And there's a cross coming in. There's a bicycle kick attempted there by Kolo Muani. Just a little bit of a miss from him. But what an attempt. That was crazy. One of the most crazy goal shots so far of this tournament, I have to say. I know that was unlucky because it just is off target, you know. Even it was almost, yeah, he doesn't actually hit it. But it's a off-target cross even because that cross was looking pretty close to the goal itself. And Casablanca just give away the ball here. However, they do win it back with Semraoui. And now it's going to be on this right side with Amrabat. Gives a little lob pass there to Mubarak. Mubarak loses it, however, to Juventus. And now Juventus back with possession. This is going to be Conceição Francisco. Brilliant play from him. He is so lively, Conceição. And it goes back to Kolulu. Di Gregorio. Passing over the side here to Kelly. Kelly now with the ball. Pacing up this left side here of the field. And there's Thuram. You think Wydad 3-1? Okay, well, it's definitely, you know, they're going to have a big game on their hands here for Wydad, Abdullah. But, of course, anything's possible in these groups. We've seen, for example, the likes of Olsen coming back against Fluminense. And then, unfortunately, they didn't get all the way through, but they were close. Red Diamonds against Inter was also a close one. But, yeah, Wydad have got a massive game on their hand here. Also, welcome to the stream, Abdullah. Welcome AML to the stream as well. You can't believe Chelsea managed to lose 3-1. I know, that was actually pretty heartbreaking. I don't know what your thoughts were on the substitutions. I actually give blame to Enzo Maresca for that loss, just based on the substitutions purely. Delap should have been on the field for longer, just in my opinion. But, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, AML, you know. I read not long ago that Juve aren't going to pay the clause to keep Conceição. That is a big loss for Juventus. They should have really, you know, considered buying that clause because Conceição is looking to be one of Portugal's best upcoming talents, honestly. He is just looking so great. Here is now him with the ball here on the right side. Conceição just holding up against Wydad's player there. Maja is just having a little bit of a press trouble. And that's going to be passed across from Costa to try and find someone in the midfield. And here is now Amrabat with the ball, trying to bring it upfield. His quality will be essential for Wydad to really get any result here. Maresca, but not for the substitutions, for the system change. That and Reece James in the midfield, despite having two world-class midfielders and two great midfielders available. Yeah, I also, because I feel like that really, James should have been playing right back. We should have seen, you know, Madueke come on a little bit earlier into that second half just to sort of go pace against Flamengo, because Flamengo's fullbacks weren't looking too great, because we did see Cole Palmer get past him a couple of times on the right side, and he's, of course, not the fastest player on that field. The main fault for me really was Delap coming off, because he was providing so much opportunity, so much cutting back actually, and, you know, helping the team out in the midfield as well. And as soon as Nicholas Jackson came on, the whole system changed really. We had Jackson coughing up the red card immediately, and yeah, it really did cause a big problem for Chelsea. If James couldn't play the wing-back role Gusto was playing, then we shouldn't be playing with a right-sided wing-back. Yeah, exactly. Should just be playing, you know, maybe a similar format to current Juventus, where we have three central defenders and then, of course, the four in the midfield. That would be maybe a more ideal formation if there's no wing-backs. Can see it happening as well. Maybe that would be a better chance for Chelsea to change to, because Cole Palmer could play the AM with Enzo, Delap in the striker position, dropping back into the midfield as well with that open space centrally. And then, you know, a couple of DMs through the different players such as Caicedo. You've noticed teams have been targeting Gusto's side. Yeah, Definitely, they've been targeting Gusto's side a lot more because he's a weaker right wing back. Unfortunately, he is that sort of type of player where he's a little bit more easier to maneuver around. I felt like James did well in the Conference League when he came on as the right back. But yeah, definitely, I do think that Chelsea might need to target a new right wing back. Maybe sell Nicholas Jackson for some money, get as much as possible for him, and then buy one of higher quality. You should tuck Reece James into right centre back with a back three and have Cucurella playing as usual, attacking fullback. Yeah, inverted wing back role. Exactly. Cucurella in the first game for Chelsea against LAFC, almost playing, as a cam / a striker at some points even. I saw him go really forward into the attack centrally. I do think as well that Chelsea really need is someone like, I feel like that this is going to be sort of the similar situation with Real Madrid, actually, what I was going to say, sorry, with the likes of, Carvajal playing in the right centre-back role. And there's a shot, and there's a goal for Juventus, a volley, and it's going to be Yildiz again with another one. Brilliant goal. A golazo at that. That's probably the second best goal of this tournament. Of course, Arias's Fluminense goal free kick was the best, in my opinion, but that one is insanity from Yildiz. An absolute golazo, and the crowd are going insane for Yildiz's gameplay there. Well done to him. He has scored his now second goal of this game. Yildiz is rocking up here. I don't think he scored too many in the previous one. If I have to just check to remind myself here, so many games to remember the scorelines for, because it was a 5-0, but yeah, he only scored one then. We had a masterclass from Kolo Muane and Conceição in that game mainly, but Yildiz turning up. Yeah, Wydad better look out here. This is going to probably be, a very big chance for Juventus to raise that goal difference as high as possible, especially if it comes down to a draw with City, because if City win against Alain and then the final game both teams draw, then Juventus can finish the group off first with the goal difference going up quite a fair bit. Yeah, fantastic from Cambioso, yeah, to set that up. That was brilliant from him. Brilliant play, really, to, between Thuram, Ullien, and Cambioso to really set up that left side. I feel like the left side's looking pretty strong in this game. The right side's not looking as great just yet. Conceição, we haven't seen too much of him, but the ball has been going out into this left, and I think it's really just because they're exploiting the fact that Amrabat is moving more centrally. It's opening up space where Mufi's the real only defender on the right side there, so it's easier plays to get through. And then, of course, we have Ferreira in the right centre-back position, who maybe can't handle as well the likes of Yildiz and the passes received from him by Cambioso and Thuram Ullien. Should I say Cambiaso, sorry. Better pronunciation. 20-0. I don't think it'll go that high just because Casablanca did withhold City's attack a little bit better than what they're doing here so far. But, yeah, I can see there's a chance by Zemraoui. That was actually good from him. This is going to be Di Gregorio passing over to his right side here. And it's now with the ball, Costa. Back to Kalulu. Now it's going to Savona. Your 3-0 is looking pretty shaky. Yeah, I know. It definitely is going to be maybe the same scoreline as before, the 5-0. But, never count out another team. We did see this with Fluminense. They looked almost completely in control of that game. And then they did lose it for a little bit against Olsen. They did come back at the end, but they were looking pretty in control until, of course, the first goal from Olsen Hyundai after that water break. Maybe the water break here will come in play and be beneficial to Casablanca, because so far, most goals for the teams that are down on a deficit have come from after a water break, like only minutes after, really. We saw it with Olsen. We saw it with Inter in the Monterrey game. We saw it with, I think, Inter Miami. I can't remember. There was a couple others. Palmeiras scored after a water break. Seattle scored after a water break. Yeah, I think that was really where, it's come into play really in handy for these teams that are behind these water breaks. And this is going to be a play to Thuram Ullien. Ullien takes a shot from long range and it just goes wide. That is going to be a goal kick. What a shot from him. He's really testing the goalkeeper Benabid with that. it was an open shot, really, because not much defense on that left side for Juventus to push through there. There's Ferreira and Mufi just not doing a great job. It actually looks like there's a bit of confusion with Ferreira and Butoy in terms of how much spacing between each other, because they've really just opened the park up there on the left side. Thuram needs to be a starter. Yeah, I know. Rabiot should not be starting France anymore. When I streamed the Nations League semi-finals, I think it was against Spain. It was against something. It was France versus Germany, I think, actually. When I said that, yeah, I streamed that one, and I thought Rabiot was so bad. He genuinely looked completely lost in the midfield. He looks like he's too old for playing in the France national team. Thuram Uliem, brilliant player. I do think he should come through. Yeah, Rabiot was terrible. The worst player in the field. He actually gave away a goal for Germany to come back in that game, but it was, like, I think it was disallowed because it was a foul or something, just in the build-up. But yeah, he really was, coughing up the ball to the opposition. Was not great. And here's a chance, just nicely cleaned up there by Mufid, just preventing Juventus on a solo run there through the back line. Juve kit 7 out of 10. Yeah, this Juve kit, I think I'm wearing the same one as they're currently wearing. I'm not too sure, but this one's pretty good, Got the Jeep logo. See, nice Jeep logo there. I think it's good. Definitely, the Serie A kits are looking pretty clean this season. Serie A always providing with their kits. Do you think Juve can have a shot for the title next season? Definitely under their current, play that they're doing here, it's definitely going to look like that they have a shot on for this title. But Napoli are just looking very dangerous. I don't think Inter are going to be in the title race this season, to be honest. I mean, never count them out, but I don't think so, just by how they've been playing this Club World Cup. We really have to see who they're going to sign in the transfer window. But yeah, as it stands, Napoli and Juve looking like the best teams for this title contention. Maybe Atalanta, but I haven't seen them in this tournament specifically. With their current set of squad, I haven't seen them too much, only really in the Champions League and also the Europa League, so I'm not too sure on how Atalanta fare. It looks like Lookman might be leaving them, though, so that could be a big loss for Atalanta. And yeah, it actually looks like here that Conceição's shoe has fallen off. His shoes come off, and he's going to just put that back on. But Majus actually gets a card for taking the shoe off there. And it's going to be a Juventus free kick. And Conceição still tying his shoe. This is going to be a pretty dangerous, attempt here for Juventus. All players in the box. Could really see another goal. Atalanta without Gasperini will look weird. Yeah, I know. Gasperini and Roma as well, replacing Pellegrini. I think that was the coach for Roma, if I'm correct. So many Serie A coaches, they just cycle through the teams, it's Ranieri, sorry. Not Pellegrini. Yeah, Ranieri was very good. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Just there with some poor ball knowledge. He was brilliant bringing Roma back up into the top of the table there after what looked like a pretty poor season from them in the first half at least. But yeah, he brought them back, and he'll go down as a legend. I think he's going to be working in Roma a little bit more as, the higher-ups as a part of the board, I think. But yeah, Gasperini going to Roma definitely wasn't predicted by me. I thought he would maybe go to a different league, but no, he stays in the Serie A. Just like most of the Serie A coaches cycling around from the different groups. Stefano Pioli from Al Nassr is coming back to the Serie A. I think is the Fluminense coach. It's either Fluminense or Italy. We'll have to see. But yeah, he is coming back to the Italian nation. So yeah, the Serie A can't really get rid of their coaches. Unbelievable job from Ranieri. The fans were begging him. I know. I feel like it was better for him, to leave on a positive note, because if he went and then messed up in the next season, not that he would, because he is such an excellent coach. He won Juventus the league. And here's a chance for Wydad Casablanca, and it's a goal. Wow. That is a goal there, and it's one brought back by Obeng. It's brilliant. Brilliant from... Well, this actually might be Lorch, actually. Yes, it was Lorch. overlapped into the striker position. I did not know that. I thought it was Obeng because he was playing striker, but Lorch there somehow on the far side into the striker position there, and he gets one brilliantly over Di Gregorio. And one thing I have to say is this is what Boanga should have done for LAFC against Esperance. He really should have done this sort of chip finish because that's what we weren't seeing for some of these chances. And Casablanca get a goal, get one chance and score. Al Ahly needs to learn from them. I know Al Ahly Egypt definitely need to learn from Wydad here. Yeah, the 4-1 is possible definitely now. It's looking like it. I did say there would be a Jag goal at least. At the moment, it seems like a Jag because Juventus have been really dominating. But yeah, definitely Casablanca now on the foot here to maybe come back. And yeah, that was a wow by Lorch. I did not expect that at all. And that was assisted by Amrabat. Of course, his quality for finding that pass there through the Juventus defense. So yeah, a finish, unbelievable finish there from Lorch. Brilliant from the left wing, who is, of course, moved now into a more striker position. There's actually a cooling break here. And the Wydad Casablanca fan flares there are insane. There is so much flare smoke coming onto the field. Wow. Wow, that is unbelievable scenes at the stadium. It's actually almost becoming unbearable to look at the one side because there's so much smoke that you can't really see through. So, amazing Wydad Casablanca fans. Insane. Yeah, it's looking like a flare or a smoke bomb here. But it's all the red. Casablanca just happy to get their first goal of this tournament. And there we go. It's insane from them. Of course, a brilliant goal. Well done, Casablanca. Well done, Lorch. Yep, Jake Paul ad again. Cooling break here, though. I brought myself a little bit of jug of water so I can sip it up. There we go. Just wipe my mouth there. Always stay hydrated, guys. That is the best thing you can do. And yeah, we're going back in it. Also, I'll just turn off this light since you don't get some glare in your face in case you're watching. There you go, better. Much better. Okay. And that is just an insane finish. Not only from Lorch there on his goal, but there's also an insane finish from Yildiz on the volley there for his second goal. And his first goal was pretty good too. Wydad loves their smoke flares. Yes, that's what I've noticed as well. So many, like, Middle Eastern, African teams have, this huge fan base here with the flares coming out, the jumping. We've seen it with the South American teams as well. But I'm actually surprised how much force these Middle Eastern and African teams have brought into these stadiums. We'll probably see it as well with Halal. Usually, though, Halal's less with the flares. They're more, like, their fan forces in presence. More so, you'll see that with like Ittihad, Al Nassr, Al Ahly, Saudi. They're the teams that really do that. But Wydad here, bringing it full on here at the pitch. Now the smoke is full red and it's covered the entire stadium. If Yildiz goes to Bayern, the front three would be crazy. Yildiz, Kane, Olis, and Musiala as the number 10. Yeah, and then also, rotating on, you've got Kingsley Coman coming onto that left side, especially after imagine a whole half of Yildiz, and then you get subbed off, and then on comes Kingsley Coman to torment the left side of the defense for the Bundesliga teams. That would be absolute torture for them, having to deal with him and his pace at such a late time in the game, especially coming off fresh. That would be insane. I do think that, Conceição should really consider staying at Juventus because I don't think Porto is going to be a good stay for him any longer. At least in Porto's current form, they don't really look like title competitors. They don't really look like, I know they came third in the league, but next season they're not looking so great just based on the performances here. They've been looking lost, and Conceição might need a better team, to really have a full embrace of his, possibilities for play, how he develops and such. So definitely I can see him moving out of Porto after the end of this tournament when he returns. You thought German fans were great, but what I've seen from these fans of teams from different continents have been amazing. Yeah, German fans, definitely one of the best European team fans, especially how much they jump up and down, going to all of their matches and all of that. But yeah, the other continent fans, the South American, the CAF fans, the the Asian fans, you know, just all in full numbers at these games, and they've really just been a delight to watch on the side, especially, you know, the likes of Boca Juniors. They were so great as well against Bayern. Really testing the Bayern fans there with who can last longer in terms of chanting. There is a drop ball here for Western McKennie and Juventus, just in their own defensive half. Football is like a religion to them. Yeah, exactly. And that is huge respect as well for how much passion you put in. Even if your team doesn't win, the amount of passion put into the chants is crazy. And that's why huge respect to Wydad. Huge respect to Red Diamonds as well from the yesterday. They were so good in chants as well. Real respect to them. Unfortunately, they didn't get the result they wanted, but they were great. They were great. Same with Olsen Hyundai fans, to be honest, really. There's going to be a throw in for Casablanca just on the right side here. And it is going to be taken by Mufi. Just thrown down the field on the far side there, trying to find Amrabat. But Juventus try and clean this up nicely with a bunch of headers. Is one back there by Obeng. And now Juventus win it back here. And it's going to be a ball for Casablanca. Just advantage play. This seems to be a little bit of a free kick chance possibly. But no, it's going to be continued play. Red Diamonds seem to lack firepower. Yeah, that was their problem. They did get the goal early on, but it was just really because of the poor defense from Inter. Their form has been awful. So yeah, they did lack firepower in that game. For sure, they definitely looked, you know, too lax, but more defensive-based team. Same with Olsen Hyundai, really a defensive-based team. Except those counter chances provide a lot of opportunity for them. Aurora Red Diamonds fans clapping and synchronization was cool. Yeah, definitely. I like how as well they planned out their celebrations, their chants, because they seem to be like full choreographed celebrations there with what they were doing. Don't think they expected a goal against Inter, but they must have been pleased by that. That would have been a big achievement for them scoring against a European side, you know. As big as Internazionale Serie A winners in the past couple of years. And this is now Thuram just passing over to Kalulu. And now it is going to be passed all the way back here, where it's going to be cleaned up by Di Gregorio. Now it's Savona. Savona just bringing this up the field. And it's passed over to Kalulu again. Kalulu to Western McKennie. Now it's to Conceição. Back to Savona. We could actually possibly see a draw at halftime, which would be a real surprise to me. That would be probably the aim of Casablanca getting a draw by halftime. But here's a chance for Juventus and just cleared away by Casablanca. Now with Amrabat. He finds a pass out to his right side for Mufi, but no, it looks like Juventus are going to tidy that one up nicely. Possibly a free kick here. Amrabat is talking to the referee, and it looks like the ref might have signaled for one. Yes, he has. Yeah, just a complete shirt tug there on Amrabat, pulling him down. Red Diamonds are really strong defense, but no real build or any strong counter-attack. Yeah, their defense was clean. They were really, you know, preventing the goals from getting through for Inter until the very end. You know, it's probably tiredness, complacency might be in a bit of an issue near the end. You never know what it was. It could have just been a real fluke chance for Juventus, but that was very good goal scored by a Lautaro bicycle kick, and then the second goal was great as well. Jamie Carragher started this with those comments about CAF, all these non-Europa teams are fighting. Yeah, I know. Carragher definitely says sometimes very controversial stuff. Respect to him, though. He does come back and apologize afterwards, so it is all good for him. No hate. Definitely a likable person in terms of, you know, his commentary on CBS Golazo. But yeah, he did start this initially by saying that none of them could compete, that the AFCON was not a viable international tournament. Now looking to be different. And a cross coming in from Casablanca, just cleared out by Juventus there. Brilliant clearance from Cambiaso. And yeah, it looking like Casablanca are going to be getting a corner here for their brilliant attack. Yes, a corner for Casablanca. And this is going to be taken by Amrabat. Cross coming in. And there's a header just off target there. It looks like it's going to be a goal kick there. Carragher is a good pundit. Yeah, I like Carragher as a pundit. Rio, I like him sometimes, but he does kind of glaze a little bit. To be honest, he does glaze his teams a little bit too much. But Rio's a good guy. You know, I love him. And this is going to be a goal kick for Juventus. Di Gregorio is going to be taking. Jamie and Mike are funny on CBS. Yeah, I love watching their highlights. It was fun to watch them, you know, with speed as well on the streams. They definitely seem like a good trio. I was very surprised. I didn't think Jamie would like speed much, but nah, he actually seems to be enjoying him more than Micah, actually. I just guess it's because Jamie and Speed are really, you know, some wild personalities in terms of what they say and that. This is a long ball out to Juventus, trying to find Colomwani, but it's just not found. And this is going to be cleaned up by Butoy. And now back to Juventus. Cambiaso. Cambiaso passes a nice through ball. They're trying to find Weston McKennie. Doesn't find him. Now this is going to be Casablanca on the counter. A long ball coming out to the left side here. Lorch. Lorch playing it in. This is going to be Mubarak. Mubarak now passing to Zemraoui. Lorch. Out to left side, trying to find Amrabat. It's lost. This is going to be Juventus. This is going to be a free kick for Juventus. Yes. Just a foul there on Yildiz. Yeah, just a bad foul. Yeah, I know. There's good passing from both teams, really. Good plays from both. It's actually looking more equal than I initially imagined, because Casablanca did look not great against Man City, though they did hold them off from scoring quite a fair bit. But yeah, Casablanca are doing amazing passing, especially Lorch there, just linking up everyone. It's really great play from them. And McKennie just passing to Kalulu. Kalulu back to Savona. Savona passing through, finding Thuram. Now it's a nice ball there to try and find McKennie, and it's just lost. And it's going to be now Casablanca on a chance here. And given away immediately. Now it's going to be Juventus. It's now on this left side. Kelly passing to Savona. Savona to Conceição with Kalulu overlapping. Kalulu receives in the overlap. And passes to Costa. Now back to Francisco Conceição, who loses in. This is a chance for Casablanca. Luckily, Di Gregorio is out in the midfield there, because he really did tidy that one up. That was another, you know, counter-attack chance there. Very strong counter-attacking that Casablanca is showing here, where they've just got them completely opened up, Juventus. Love to see a strong counter-attack, you know. Definitely great to see. And this is going to be on the left side. Thuram passing nicely to Cambiaso. Cambiaso over to Yildiz. And back to Thuram. Now in to Savona. Savona finds Kalulu. Costa. Costa to Conceição. It's just a weak pass from Costa. And it's won back by Mufid for Casablanca. Mufid trying to do a couple of skills there. And it's actually won by his teammate there on the rebound, Mayers. And now over to Butoy. Butoy passes over to that left side there with Ferreira. Ferreira, long ball trying to find the striker there, Obeng. Obeng passes to Amrabat. He's pushed, and it's going to be a free kick for Wydad Casablanca in the attacking half. Definitely going to be a beneficial one to them, because they've got a chance here on goal to cross it in. And it was Savona who did commit the challenge there that led to the free kick. Amrabat will be taking this one. His passing is very good. Very, very good passing from Amrabat. Very good passing as well from Lorch. He has been excellent for Casablanca. And long ball from Amrabat, just finding the header, and it just goes over there. That was close from Myers, just not close enough, however. Have a look there. That header did connect brilliantly, but it just goes over. And now is a chance for Juventus to play it out from the goal kick there. This is Savona to Di Gregorio. And this is Di Gregorio just holding up possession. Savona now bringing it downfield. And it's a pass between Kalulu to Savona, just a little 1-2 from them. And now it's over to Thuram. Thuram and this left side have really been the main, point of attack. But it looks like that Casablanca are reinforcing it. It looks like that after the cooling break, they've really started to do that. Also, anyone correct me if I'm wrong, that goal came after the cooling break, right? I swear it did. Because that means that there's another goal after the cooling break. And it seems like the cooling breaks are almost essential for these teams to get goals back. Which is strangely coincidental. I think it's just, refreshing the team up and really providing them some tactical analysis. Yeah, it was. It was after the cooling break. Wow. So far, nearly every team who has been on, quite a few goals down has come back with one from the cooling breaks here. I think it's just tactical advantage. Conceição on the ground here with an injury to the face. A little bit of a dive from him, I think. Let's take a look if they show it on the replay. Oh, you don't think it was a dive? And let's see. Yeah, it wasn't. It doesn't look like that. It's like a mini halftime. If you're losing, allows the coach to motivate the guys. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely... No, after the... Oh, it wasn't after the cooling break. I swear it was, though, because it was like... It was in the 25th minute, and they paused at the 19th after the first goal. Anyone can skip back in the stream after anyway and correct us. But the cooling break, yeah, is like a mini halftime. It really just enables, the coach to instill some new tactics. Yeah, it was when there were flares. It was after the flares. Yeah, it was after the flares. Oh, no. No, it was before. Okay, yeah, you're right, Kieran. Yeah. You're right. You're right. It was before. But Casablanca looking like a new team after this time. Yeah, so correcting myself there. I thought it was after the cooling break, but no, the cooling break did happen after the goal there. Because the flares were set off, yeah. Good memory, Kieran. Yeah. But, I was going to say that was very coincidental. If that happens again, that would be another goal after a cooling break within a short period of time. And just cleared away by Juventus. Yeah. Good memory. W chat for the memory there. W Kieran. Just before Mandela effect going crazy. Yeah, I know. But still, what's true about the cooling break? It's like a mini halftime. It instills new tactics, allows the coach to quickly bring in some new stuff. I do think the cooling break's more beneficial to the losing team just because it allows the coach to analyze a bit more. Whereas if you're winning, the coach is really just going to say, continue up the good work. Maybe some weaknesses here and there, but, it's not going to provide too much. Here's a chance for Juventus, just too far of a cross from Thuram there. It's going to be a throw-in for Casablanca. Almost half-time, 2 minutes of regular time plus whatever is remaining. And it's now Mufid with the ball. Mufid throws it. And that is going to be a throw-in for Juventus, just out by Lorch. Oh, it was actually a handball. Okay, it's just a quick play on anyway, regardless. And it's going to be Juventus now on this left side. Just trying to find it through there. Kelly. Now back to Savona. Savona over there to the right side for Kalulu. Now it's going to be with Costa. Costa does do a whipped cross, which actually goes through quite well, but cleared away. It's going to be a Juve throw-in. Costa takes the throw-in there. It's actually a good found there by Conceição. However, just... cleared away nicely by Mufid, and now it's Lorch on a run, and that's going to be a free kick for Casablanca. There is a foul on Lorch, and Conceição's also on the ground in the box. Yeah, I do think he might have sprained his ankle just with the way he landed. Yeah, it's just the way he landed, I think. He is waiting for the referee to come check up on him. And this is going to be still a free kick for Casablanca. We can actually read the stats now just before the halftime. I don't think they'll change too much unless, of course, there is a goal. But the stats as follows. 73% possession to Juventus. 27% possession to Wydad Casablanca. For Juventus' remaining stats, 0.47 expected goals. 4 total shots. 1 shot on target. 1 big chance. 1 big chance missed. 259 accurate passes with an 89% accuracy. 8 fouls committed. 0 corners. 5 minutes of additional time as well, guys. Now the stats for Casablanca. 0.63 expected goals. 6 total shots, more than Juve. 4 shots on target, more than Juve. 1 big chance. 0 big chances missed. 76 accurate only 76 passes. 74% accuracy. 7 fouls, 1 corner. They've definitely been relying on counter-attack. Wydad to really get a goal in this tournament so far. I don't think McKennie and Costa have done enough to support Conceição in this half. Yeah, I know. That right side is almost locked off at the moment just because there's, the strong defense. We have Lorch coming back. We have Mufid, Myers. They've all been pretty well in that defensive half. But yeah, it also is on McKennie. He keeps, fumbling the passes. He's not been great. More flares set off here by Casablanca fans in this game. Actually, looks like Mufid might be a bit injured and the medics are going to be coming on. Yeah, he's just kicked by the studs of Costa. Actually, looks like Costa gets a bit injured too in that one. It's like a double challenge there. Yeah, just his studs hit his ankles. The coach for Wydad Casablanca, Ben Hakim, is looking very happy with the fan support. They're rocking the PSG colours for some luck. Yeah, exactly. They've got the blue, white, and they've got the red flares sending out here. Definitely good luck for Casablanca. Definitely exceeding expectations as well. Than what I had at the start. I did think Juve were going to win this one with pretty much simple ease. I thought it was going to be, 6-0, 5-0, 4-0. Maybe not as much as the previous game against Align. Maybe like 4-0. But yeah, definitely Casablanca have been amazing. They've got better stats in terms of, attacking stats. Not as many passes, only 81. That's not great. But yeah, Juventus have been surprised here in this stadium. And the stadium is the Lincoln Financial Field. I don't think there's been a delay at the Lincoln Financial Field yet. We'll check if there's any other possible delays for any stadiums today. So Real Madrid versus Pachuca is at the Bank of America Stadium. And the next game afterwards will be... Who is it? It's Salzburg versus Halal at Audi Field. Yeah, no delays there. And then for the final game of this set is Manchester City versus Align at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So the only one with possible delays might be the Madrid game. Let's actually just check the weather, see if there's any delays here. There is more storm clouds over Orlando. It looks like maybe they've rescheduled some matches from Orlando because, yeah, there are so many clouds over Orlando there. There is a huge storm cloud over the New York, Philadelphia area. So hopefully that does not, delay some matches here. I don't know where the Bank of America Stadium is or the Lincoln Financial Field is, but hopefully they're not both in New York and the Philadelphia area because there is a huge storm cloud over that. It's connected all the way up to Quebec there. As a Sundowns fan, you hate the flares when we go north. It gets in the opponent's head, almost like a war zone. Yeah, I know. Flares are definitely a good way for the fans to really distract the players on field. I think the best example of that really was that I've seen is personally this game Al Nassr versus Al Ahly Saudi, and I feel like Al Nassr was so benefited by the fact that Al Ahly Saudi had put off flares into their own goal area, and it sort of really, I think, prevented Edouard Mondi from really saving a chance in the first minute of the game by Ronaldo, hence why they got an early goal. But yeah, that was a big one. There were so many flares, it was like almost pitch black on the field. You couldn't see it from the camera. Yeah, Al Ahly fans, crazy. Now this is going to be Casablanca on this right side here. Just trying to find a pass down to Amrabat. That was Mufi. And it just goes out. It looks like it's going to be a throw-in for Juventus. Amrabat is saying that there was a push on him, but yeah, it's nothing too much. It actually might have been offside there. That's why Juventus actually have been given a free kick. And this is going to be now Savona passing to this left side, Kelly. Now it's Cambiasso. And it's a little one-touch back from Weston McKennie. Now it's going to be Savona. Savona out to Kalulu. Now Kalulu is going to find the back area, Di Gregorio. Di Gregorio passing over to Kelly. Kelly to Cambiasso. Cambiasso is just going to kick that one all the way to this other side to Savona. Now it's Conceição. Conceição passing it now, switching sides again. And this is now going to be Kelly with the ball. Through ball over, finds Cambiasso. And there's going to be a retrospective free kick given here to Casablanca by the referee. Also looks like it might be halftime called any second now, because it has been 5 minutes. Let's see what there was given a free kick here for. Nah, it's a little bit of a dive from Casablanca. I mean, there is a small shove from, I think that's Yildiz, but nothing much. Yeah, that is a dive. Yeah, holding his head for that. That is not great. Not great sportsmanship between the Casablanca player. Love how McKennie's trying to get involved in the conversation there. Both players having a little talking to from the referee, and then McKennie's just like trying to listen in. Don't know what he was doing there, but okay. Amrabat is now going to take this free kick. That's taking advantage of the head injury rule. Yeah, that is a big advantage. It also is Amrabat's moved the ball here forward without the referee looking. That's going to be a corner for Wydad Casablanca here with only, this might be the last play of the first half. So if Casablanca can draw, nope, half given. There's full time on the half. And now we are ready for the next half. Lucky Casablanca didn't get that corner because it was really undeserved for that dive. So, yeah, referee has given no corner. It's going to be straight to the locker rooms for both sets of players, and we'll see how, Juventus change their setup. I would recommend maybe subbing off Weston McKennie. He's not been great. Bringing on someone like Adzik, Cooper Miners, Locatelli, all available as options. Douglas Luiz is pretty good on that side as well, on the left side. So maybe, even switching it over so that Cambiasso is played on the right wing. And then Costa is taken off, playing, I think Douglas Luiz in the left mid, and then playing instead of Weston McKennie, someone like Kostic or Locatelli. Yeah, it's an interesting half at that. I will say that was very interesting. Did not expect the scoreline, but we did end up getting a goal for Casablanca, the first goal of the tournament so far. A lot of Casablanca fans think they can actually win this one. 24% votes for Casablanca, 69% Juventus. And yeah, Juventus started off very strong, comfortable, and then Wydad got a goal out of nowhere. Yeah, and now Casablanca really actually challenging Juventus a lot in terms of, showing some emphasis that they can get through on the counter, because at the moment still, they've not got many passes in this game. They've got, how many passes do they have? Just 85 passes. That's not great. Juventus 282 passes with 90% accuracy, 85 passes from Casablanca there with a 73% accuracy. So it's not that great, really, but they've been deadly on the counter-attack. That goal was a fluke, and it's really put a spill on the balance of this game so far. But yeah, Juventus dominating for nearly the whole first bit of that first half, and then yeah, Casablanca getting a goal in at the 25th minute through Lorch. So that is halftime, guys. I'm just going to have a quick drink of water and a snack, and I'll be back for the next half in around, let's see how long is left. I think it's like 10 minutes now, because I've been talking for quite a bit. But yeah, drop your thoughts on this match as well, and maybe score predictions for the next match, because, of course, the next match is going to be Real Madrid versus Pachuca. Also, make sure to sub up if you want, so you can be informed for when that match begins. We'll be streaming live there, as well as Salzburg, Al Hilal, Man City, Al Ain, and the rest of these games. I think the first game of round 3 is Atleti versus Botafogo, so that's going to be interesting. Juventus style, very strong. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Sorry, my bad. My eyes deceived me there. Let's just see how long until the next half begins. 11 minutes until the next half. Yes, enough time for a snack. So, thank you guys so far for this first half, and I'll see you in just a bit. Welcome back, guys. W's, and thank you for subscribing, George Mendoza, Carlos Alfredo. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate that. That is W's. Also, I have no idea. Why does that not in the alert box here? Let me just see something here. Like, it does some weird stuff. Yeah, let me fix this up. Simplify alert box. I'll read your guys' messages as well. I personally think you'll rotate with Rodrigo on the right. Yeah, I think the formation I was mentioning with Ololi's previous game formation, I think is the best formation for Real Madrid to play, where we can actually start. Maybe we can even try and see if Ardagula can play right wing, Rodrigo left wing, which is his preferred side, left wing, and striker Vinny. I think that would be a good idea to just, you know, test it out, see how it works. I really think it'd be a good idea, you know. There we go. Do you think Rodrigo will want to carry on the right? So many transfer rumours. No, Xabi Alonso did confirm. Fabrizio, of course, the only one you trust. And Xabi Alonso did confirm that Rodrigo would be staying with Real Madrid for the next season. It will be crucial in the upcoming season. So I do believe in Xabi Alonso. I believe they will use Rodrigo. And I think Rodrigo's so good, yeah. Brahim Diaz's role in the squad in a weird situation, especially after signing a new deal. I think Brahim should really start trying to play striker. I think he's a good striker, honestly. I would love to see him playing striker, to be honest, because that means he would have more opportunities to actually play more matches. I actually think that if anyone were to be removed in the attack, at the moment, for me, I'm sorry, it has to be Vinny. I know, of course, Vinny, I got you here, bro. Vinny was so good in the previous season, then he's like fell off a cliff. I'm sorry, but he has not been the best at all. He's actually been sometimes a hindrance to the squad in terms, you know, even in the Real Madrid Halal game, he had a very early, he had a chance in the very start of the game, and where Koulibaly actually, you know, did a slide tackle, he jumped over it and then dove. He should have not dove. Why did he do it? I don't know. He could have literally had an open goal there, just Boone who he had to beat. But no, he dives instead, tries to get a red card for no reason. Yeah, ever since he lost on the Ballon d'Or. I mean, again, my personal opinion, no hate to City fans or Spain fans. I do think that Vinny should have won, or Carvajal. I don't think that Rodri really deserved it as much because he wasn't, you know, standout until the Euros, of course. I mean, he's always great, but he's not standout. Like, no one was saying Rodri Ballon d'Or for the entire season, you know, until the Euros started, really. And welcome back, Issa. Hope you're having a nice day so far. Sorry, no hate to Rodri. I think he's good. You know, definitely we saw his quality in the Casablanca game when he came on. Happy he's back from the injury too. Great to Rodri. W's. Just having some iced latte here. Dunkin' Donuts. Just to keep awake, you know. What else did I see? Where do you think Mastantuono will play next season? Well, he's definitely going to play maybe... I know he's a right winger again. Why are there so many right wingers at Real Madrid? I don't know. We have Rodrigo, Ardagula, Brahim, Mastantuono. I think Mastantuono will play possibly on the left wing or a cam position. Because I know he can play cam. He did it in the previous game for River Plate against Monterrey. But... yeah, I don't see him playing on the right over the likes of Brahim and Rodrigo and Ardagula. You're going to Medina and Riyadh next week. Yeah, there'll be W's. Isa, tell me how your trips are to those two lovely places. So that's a W. Especially Medina. I've never been there. Players walking out now from the halftime. Halftime will begin. The second half will begin very shortly. But yeah, I don't think Mastantuono will play on the right. I think he'll play cam, left wing maybe, striker. Don't know. I'm surprised. You know why I'm surprised by that? The fact that Endrick didn't play in the previous game for Real Madrid over, you know, Gonzalo. Now, I don't know if Endrick's injured. I can't remember if he was listed as injured. Oh, yeah, he has a hamstring injury. Yeah, early August. Okay. Because I was very surprised. Mbappe should be back, not for this game, the next one. Without Mbappe, the attack looks dead, I got to say. No, I don't live in Riyadh, Isa. I live in Khobar, just near the Bahrain. That's how I went to Bahrain to get my haircut. It's only like 30-minute drive to the city center of Bahrain. But yeah, I'm going to be in Riyadh next year, though, for university, so it'll be cool. Yes, I think Madrid is so stacked in midfield. It'll be hard for him to get many games there. Yeah, I know. I don't even know where he'd start. Because he's such a good talent. I saw him in the River Plate games. He looks so good. He looks very desperate. You know, there's just too many players now. It's getting into a position and point here where we've got so many players that it's actually getting too many. And, like, I mean, anyone would want to play at Real Madrid. Even him probably wanting to play as a sub. I don't think he would mind too much. But the amount of games is the problem here. And I don't think he's going to get too many as a starter. Especially over some of these other players. I do think, though, I was saying that we should really test in the pre-seasons for Real Madrid, Vini in striker, Mbappe in left wing, and Rodrigo in right wing, or whoever in right wing, just as a test. Because I think Vini should really consider playing striker, you know. What's the temperature? Let's check. You can tell me your temp. I think it's going to be maybe a slightly hotter in Riyadh just because you're not next to the ocean. I'm 36 degrees Celsius. It was the hottest during the day at 43 degrees Celsius. Oh, it's 38 in Mecca. Yeah, so I'm just colder by slightly, just a little bit. Myers and Obeng are coming off for Casablanca as the first set of substitutes. And on will be coming two new players here, which you're about to see. Omar Al-Soma and Soleimani Mwalimu. Sorry if I said his name wrong. Very hard pronunciation there. The way Madrid were able to rip Frank away from PSG, though, once again showing how powerful they are in the market. Yeah, I know. Mastantuono he was really considering PSG there, especially Champions League winners. And Madrid instantly come in and he's almost gone immediately. He goes, nope, going to Real Madrid. So yeah, I mean, it's a dream club for so many players. Either Real Madrid or Barca is the dream club, you know. And yeah, he decided to go for his dream there. The heat is unbearable, especially during midday. That's why, you know, I'm considering staying up during the night anyway, outside of, you know, this streaming period, because I think during the day it's just too hot to really do anything. I play football at night as well, so it's a bit better. Vinny's kind of awful at making big game decisions in front. I'd take a risk with Endrick. Yeah, you know, Vinny playing striker is a bit questionable. I do think Vinny was good last year. That's why I don't get his mentality's gone bad. Though I do have to say that at around halfway through the season, he started to get better. He was bad at the very first start of the season, but he started to get better halfway through. Also, kickoff just happened. I just realized. Sorry, we only missed 10 seconds, just about 20, 30, 40. Okay, there we go. I want to meet you so bad. Yeah, nothing weird. Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, not in Riyadh, at least currently. I am leaving Saudi next week for a couple of days, for a week or two. So it's going to be, yeah, I can't wait to go where I'm going. I'm not saying yet because it'll be an IRL stream, but yeah. We're all good, though. This is going to be a corner for Yildiz to take. Cooper Miners on for McKennie is a good sub. Yeah, that is a good sub. Yeah, that is a good sub. I also think that Douglas Luiz on for Costa and switch sides for Cambiaso. There's a nice catch there from Wydad's goalkeeper, Benabid. The problem with Endrick is he's not going to get much playtime. That's his problem. I think Endrick should have, you know, I mean, going to Real Madrid's going to obviously help with development a little bit, but in the end, I don't think it's actually going to hinder him more than help, because he's going to be stuck, you know, being a substitute for quite a long time. And this is out to the right side here for Amrabat to cross in. And there's a chance for Casablanca to get a header off, and it's just rushed out by Di Gregorio, and he instantly volleys it forward because there is a chance for a counter, but yeah, not given. Yeah, Amrabat, that was a brilliant cross from him. Unfortunate enough, his players were lining the back of the post there, because I think if they're at the back side of the box, they would have had a very easy chance to header that one into goal because Di Gregorio was actually caught off guard there more so than anyone else, really. Amrabat again. And this is what I'm saying. His quality is so good. Obeng just passing it through. Here's a chance for Casablanca. It's just cleared nicely by Juventus. And now it's with Kululu to try and play it through. And that is going to be a foul against Yildiz. Yeah, that's why I was thinking with Endrick. Maybe, even go on loan to the Prem, come back once he's, developed a little bit more as a starting player. And then even start him over Vinny. I think Vinny at the moment, not great. Maybe in the future, Vinny will get better and, definitely. But at the moment, Vinny's not looking too good. He's not looking too good. I'm fortunate because he was, looking so good last season. I really like Vinny, except, of course, when he dove a lot. I felt kind of bad for him as well. Every time, the fans chanting racist stuff at him, it's a bit appalling, to be honest. That's why I feel a bit sorry for him. But he does egg them on a tiny bit in terms of what he does. And it looks like Juventus might make a sub very soon for Yildiz because it looks like he is, being the target of a lot of injuries here from Casablanca. And yeah, Yildiz just walking off the side here. I think he's okay. I think he'll just continue to play. Looks to be not that great of an injury, though. It does look like it might be a bit bad. And yeah, it's going to be played by Juventus out to Kalulu on this side here. And now it's nicely through. Definitely I expected McKennie as well to come off at halftime. So, yeah, it was expected. He wasn't great. Costa will be next for me. I don't know how Taram Ulien has got a low rating on this on FootMob. His assist was removed because it turned into an own goal. Originally, they gave him a goal, 2 goals for Yildiz and an assist for Taram, and his rating was like 7.5. And they've actually lowered his rating to 6.8, removed his assist, and Yildiz as a goal removed, because Yildiz was an 8.4 before. A bit unfair on FootMob, honestly. That is a bit poor from them. And that is a nice punch away from Casablanca's goalkeeper, and Conceição trying to outpace. This is Locha on the right side, but yeah, just not getting it. And now it's with Juventus. Here's a chance for Juventus, and it's just, yeah, cleared out here. Now Lorch. Don't really take much notice of ratings and sites like FootMob. Yeah, that's what I do. I mainly just go based on, the statistics for the team itself because they're accurate. But otherwise, the play rate, I don't really care too much about those. It's just mainly, statistical information. Also, the lineup, I can see it. That's why I do use it. So I can see the lineup. But to me, like some of the stuff, for example, I don't really like, because also I'll put this in the chat now so you guys can vote up. I don't really like still this player voting for, how it's working at the moment. Place.fifa.com/ I think that's the vote site there for voting up this team. Wait, let me just test it out here, guys. 1 second, I'll send it. Hi, Cash and Nico. Welcome to the stream. We know that Taram has probably been Juve's second best player. Yeah, clearly from visuals. I mean, this is why you never take the visual. You always take visuals over, statistics. Play.fifa.com/bottom. There you go. You can vote up the player of the match in your guys' opinion. I would recommend voting for a player that is not your favorite player. Someone that's actually been the best on the field, because it has happened so far in every single match where it's just the most famous player winning the player of the match, and it's clearly not deserved. For example, Monterrey River Plate. Yeah, Mastan Tuono won player of the match. He was not the best player by far on that field. It was clearly one of Monterrey's players. You could have actually argued Sergio Ramos is the best. He was really good in that defense. Not getting a card. You could also argue, Monterrey's other defender, I think it was Medina, who was very good. River Plate's Acuna was very good as well. The goalie was actually the best one on that field. I just remembered. Yeah, the goalie for Monterrey was amazing. He should have got player of the match there. I just remembered now. I did say it. And it's going to be Amrabat just losing the ball out. And it looks like it's going to be a free kick for Juventus. Yeah, there's a handball by Amrabat. Sergio was showing Maston Tuono football heritage. Yeah, I know. I love how as well, the best part of that game, you can see my reaction to it when it happened, but Ramos does a slide tackle straight through the box there and cleans out the ball. And then he goes up to the ref and he's like, yeah, it's clean, bro. And then the ref, I think, gets annoyed at him for saying that. So he's like going up to Ramos and having a chat with him. But yeah, Ramos being a little bit smart there with the ref. Now it's onto this side with Kalulu. And is now Cooper Miners. Back to Di Gregorio. Yeah, I know, it's so funny. Probably the funniest moment of that match, to be honest. I was surprised Ramos didn't get a card just in that whole game. There were so many cards there, and he didn't get one. And there's a chance for Juve, and it just goes out for a corner. Nice, cleaned up there by, I think that was Mufid. Oh, it's actually turned to be offside. Yeah, just offside. Oh, that was actually quite far offside now, looking at it on the replay. And yeah, that was an offside there by Cambiasso. Now this is Thuram. He wins it back immediately for Juventus. Yes, W votes there. Cash and Nico. Let's go. And there's a cross from Juventus from long range, and it's going to be a corner. Cleared away by Butoy. Yeah, W, Cash and Nico for that vote. And it is going to be... Who'd you vote for, by the way? I'd love to know. I'm probably going to vote... I haven't voted in any of these yet. I'd love to vote, actually. Let's go vote up. Kind of early to tell. I would probably give it to either Thuram Ulien or Yildiz. It'll probably go to Yildiz just because he scored, but, you know, we'll see. Yildiz with the cross. And this is a chance for Juventus and punched away by Benabid there. Brilliant. And now it's going to be on this right side here. Cambiasso trying to get through. Gives it away to Casablanca. Oh, it's starting to rain. Wait, in the stadium? As if it's raining in the stadium, that's bad. Or is it where you are, Habis faction? I can't see any rain. Or maybe my screen is just too small to spot it. So I don't know where Lincoln Financial Field is, but over New York area, there is a huge storm cloud. So hopefully no match is delayed there. This is now Thuram Ulien. Passes through there nicely, and it's just cleaned up for a corner for Casablanca. Sorry, for Juventus. Just cleaned out by Casablanca, should I say. And this is going to be possibly, I think, Yildiz will take this corner. So far, the only Olympiaco in this tournament has been Michele Elise, who scored one, but then it was cancelled. There was a foul by Nabry on the goalkeeper, but that was still brilliant, you know, shot by Elise. And here's a cross coming in just to the far post side, and it's just going to be cleaned up nicely by the goalkeeper for another corner there. Guilherme with the initial clearance, and then the goalkeeper just tries to keep that in, but yeah, it goes out. And it will be Juventus taking this one. Let's see who's actually taking it here. We can't see just yet. Oh, yeah, it is starting to rain a little bit. Yeah, it's getting windy. Hopefully there's no cancellation. Please, please, no cancellations for today. I don't feel like one. And here's the cross coming in. And it's just to the far side. And there's just off the post. And it's cleared away by Casablanca. And Casablanca have a chance here to actually move the ball forward. And it's cleaned away by Juventus. It's going to be a throw-in for Casablanca. How did that hit the post? That's unbelievable from Cambiasso hitting the post there. And it just bounces out. It doesn't even bounce to anyone. That's a bit unfortunate. That is a bit unfortunate. Please don't cancel. Guys, do you have any sort of idea if this is going to be cancelled? I'm not sure. Like, what's your guys' thoughts? I don't know if this match will be suspended or not. Let's just have a look over the... Yeah, there is a huge storm cloud over in that area. I don't know exactly where this stadium is. Let's go take a look on the Google Maps. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't get why they're cancelling for a storm. Yeah. I don't actually get that. Yeah, it's in the storm cloud region. This stadium, Lincoln Financial Field, is in the Philadelphia area, right under the massive cloud here. I'm not joking. You guys, take a look at this point specifically. This is about where the stadium is. It's like about there. I'll send you this. This is, you can zoom out and have a look at the storm cloud. Really good connection, Adaman, on him, and wasn't an easy change. Yeah, that was a great connection by Cambiasso there. And now this is a chance for Juventus on this left side. Yeah, it's raining in the stadium now too. This is going to be Yildiz. Yildiz, please don't cancel for a little bit of rain. And it's going to be still Yildiz. And it's still now going to be cleared away by Casablanca. That was actually kept in perfectly by them, keeping this one. And it's now gone all the way back to this back area. Savona losing it. And Casablanca win a free kick. Just an unnecessary slide tackle there on Casablanca's Omar Al Soma. Yeah, it's raining quite heavily now in the stadium. No way they cancel for rain. Let's be honest. Like, I swear there's games all the time in rain. Didn't they play in the MLS like in snow? Yeah, they're cancelling for a little bit of a trickle. The worst cancellation so far for this whole tournament was it was one of these games. It might be in Palmeiras versus Ololi when the cloud didn't even go over the stadium. It was just out the back and then it moved across and then they allowed the game to keep going. Why is the US hosting a World Cup? Even South America, a bit more stable weather. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is going to be a problem in the World Cup itself because it's going to be around the same time here. And, of course, this is the big storm season for USA. The tropical storms in the south. Even Mexico is going to have the same problem. The tropical storms. There was a hurricane, I think it was Hurricane Eric, which went over Mexico and actually cancelled a few games in Florida. But, yeah, now there's still more storms coming in from the north now, which is going to be a big problem, especially if this continues for the World Cup next year at the same time. So, yeah, this is going to be unfortunate, guys. But, yeah, hopefully this isn't going to be probably the last time US hosts in the summer. Maybe they'll host in the winter. I think that might be a bit better, though, of course, the temperature drops extremely cold there. So, it's really hard to pick a time to host for USA, to be honest. Maybe just keep it on the east of the country, or the west, sorry. People playing heavy rainfall all the time. Yeah, in England, exactly. It's even in like, you know, we see the Bundesliga, there's like snow gloves on everything. We see, you know, lots of rain games, so it's kind of a bit strange how they've been cancelling some games for no rain. There was a game the other day, I think it was Salzburg versus Pachuca, and it was cancelled, delayed for like an hour, and there was the slightest trickle, and then it went off. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what the thing is about this weather cancellations. Let's just hope that this one continues because it's looking like it will. Yeah, let's have a look at that rating. 7.1 for Golomwani. Taram Ulien has a 7. Yeah, never trust FootMob ratings. I will say that, guys. Never do it because it does not highlight a player's full potential. We had as well Nations League final. Sorry, anyone who likes Yamal. Yamal was not great in that final, I do have to say. Yet he still managed to get, you know, a 7.9 on one of the... It was like on SofaScore and a 7.2 on FootMob. No idea how that's even possible when he barely touched the ball. Lost it every time he touched, really. So, yeah, FootMob ratings aren't that great. Here's a chance, and Juventus just hit the post. Is that a post here, or is that out? I have no idea. Colomwani almost missing a sure goal. Should have hit that one with better ferocity there, Colomwani. It's like he hits it on a spin as well. Just like spin around. It's onside. Yeah, he actually spins around as he hits it. I know. Oh, dear, indeed. What is he doing there when he's... Yeah, that is not a good connection. That is very poor from Colomwani, who is supposed to be, you know, very good for Juve in terms of striker quality. He's not been like that for France at all in the years he's played for them. And it seems like he's sort of similar here. He's just been lucky to get quite a few. Yildiz trying to win the ball off Amrabat. Now wins it with the help of his teammate. And this is going to be Amrabat winning it back. And it's a free kick for Casablanca. There is a very heavy foul on Amrabat there. That is an unnecessary foul. And it looks like Thuram is the one at fault there for that one. Let's have a look here. So, yeah, he just goes and slides in. He actually does kind of connect with the ball at first. So, you know, a little bit of a collision. Yeah, he slips over. It might actually be the ground there that might give it for him. So let's see his sort of condition here when he goes in. Yeah, he slips. Okay. That does look like a slip. Long ball by Casablanca's goalkeeper. And it's now going to be with the ball Zemraoui. Zemraoui finding Amrabat on this right side. Amrabat gives a nice tap and it goes straight across goal. Just close enough for a goal kick for Juventus. It looks like there might be a corner argument here, but I don't think there is. See, Amrabat cross in and then, yeah, just a goal kick there. Is there a touch? No touch, no. No touch. I don't know what Omar Al-Somer is saying there. There is definitely no touch. And this is going to be Juventus just passing it over here to Di Gregorio. Goal kick down the field. And that is going to be a good hold-up play by Colomwani. And a long ball trying to find Conceição. Doesn't. Instead, Costa brings it out for a Juventus throw. Just deflecting off of Lorch. And it looks like there's going to be a retrospective free kick here just because of a little foul on Colomwani in that initial build-up. There was no real advantage, so that's why it's been given. And it's just going to be played quickly by Juventus. Just now Kalulu. Thuram Ulien. Over to, I think that's there, Kelly. Just playing it through. Now to Cambiaso. Thuram Ulien. Does a nice skill there. Thuram Ulien really has been that big midfield connection. That's why they've really been so effective on this left side here, Juventus. There's going to be a foul on Cambiaso by Amrabat, and it's going to be a free kick for Juve. Yildiz will be taking the free kick. Yeah, that's actually doesn't really look like a foul, to be honest. It looks like Amrabat's actually dragged the ball out there. I don't know what your guys' opinion on that is, but that doesn't really look too much like a foul. Amrabat's been brilliant for Casablanca. I gotta say, he is very good in terms of quality. You know, Amrabat's in general have a lot of quality, like the one for Fenerbahce. This one here, maybe a bit better for Casablanca. I know he's, you know, maybe a little bit less well-known just because the other Amrabat has been to bigger clubs. But this guy is looking very underrated in terms of his ability. Cambiaso has been superb. Yeah, I know Cambiaso has been, you know, that big connection for Juve. Thuram Ulien, Cambiaso really providing Yildiz with the most opportunities in this game. That's why we're not really seeing Conceição have as many in this one. Let's see actually how Juve did start the previous game, because I swear Conceição had a better, you know, connections in that midfield there. Let's have a look. Against Align, of course it was an easier team, but Conceição had the same side. He had Conceição, McKennie, Costa, Kalulu. No real changes. Cambiaso in the previous game was actually poor with a 6.5 subbed off at half-time. But Costa in that game, 8.9 rating, 2 assists, you know. Conceição, 2 goals. I guess it's just about quality of the opponent, yeah. Because Align were lining up on that right side for Juventus, Palacios, Zabala, and Orton. They also had Rahimi, but Rahimi would have more be playing as a striker. And then on that, you know, the other side where Cambiaso was on, they had Kaku as one of their better players. Traore is one of their better players. Yeah, so they had their better defense on the right side there, Align. I missed a great run from Thuram because you don't have the sound on TV. Oh, sorry, yeah, my bad. Yeah. I should have really looked. I can technically rewind on Daz and you can rewind, so I'll rewind this one. Let's see what the run was about, just while there's a little pause. Okay, this is Thuram. Let's see what he does. Oh, that is amazing there. That little one touch by Colomwani as well. I don't know if it's going to be re-looked at for a penalty, but no. This is going to be a cross in by Casablanca, just as I skip it back to the correct time, and now Casablanca's still with it. That's going to be Amrabat crossing in, and it just goes too wide. And it's going to be retracked here by Mufid. And there's going to be a shot from long range. Holy jeez, that was a good shot from Lorch. Wow. Wow, Lorch showing so much quality there. Look at that shot. Just slightly off target there. But my, that was a rocket. If that went in, that would have definitely been the goal of the tournament so far, because that was an amazing shot. Yeah, as you were saying, Wydad defending well done, their left side. Yeah, left side definitely is keeping, Conceição silent. I would give mainly the credit to Lorch being amazing on the track back, as well as, coming forward. He's been so good, Lorch. Definitely one of my player of the matches if I had to vote for a Casablanca player. Here's a chance, really easy for Juventus. Yildiz, and it curls in. That's a goal. That is a brilliant goal by Yildiz. That is insanely good. I think that has to be assisted right by Turam Ulien. What an amazing goal. Hat-trick, yeah, it's essential hat-trick. I think they gave an own goal. I don't know if that own goal's for the official scoreline, but yeah, technically a hat-trick for Yildiz. And what an amazing goal by him. That is just so much class. The stop in the box. There's not many players. You don't see many players, pause and take their time in the box. But he did. He took his time there. And let's see, it's actually Kolo Muani who gave the assist. Brilliant from Kolo Muani, that initial pass. That is onside by far. Just stopping in the box there and just taking his time to take the shot. It's not really seen much anymore. You see the fast-paced, just one-touch shots, or the two touches that are really quick. But Yildiz really took a long time to get that one off, and it's brilliant. Yeah, unfortunately, he won't get the hat-trick here, unfortunately, yeah. Colomani's done really well since I said it. Yeah, I know. He must have heard you, and then he started to, perform. That was like the other day with Lautaro. People were saying Lautaro not good, and then Lautaro scores the bicy to equalise. And as it stands, Casablanca will be out of the tournament. I also think that as it stands, Juventus are going through to the round of 16. I think they're through. I don't think they can't get through now. It's impossible because both Casablanca and Al Ain have 0 points. So Juventus will either be first or second. It depends on their results with City, of course. But Juventus are going to be going through to the round of 16. So their possible opponent now will either be, if we take a look at the knockouts, they are in Group G. Currently, they're in 1G. And in 1G, they'll be versing 2H. So they'll either be versing, really, Al Hilal, Real Madrid. I don't really give Salzburg and Pachuca a chance against those two teams. But they'll either be versing, most likely, Real Madrid, or they'll be versing Al Hilal, regardless of what either they're in 1G or 2G, because it really depends on which order Real Madrid and Hilal finish in. If Hilal can get more goals than Madrid, then I would say they would go in front. But, of course, if Madrid get more goals, they would go to the top. Because I don't think it's possible, actually, for one of those teams to finish above the other in the first and second if they do win both of their remaining games, which we'll see anyway in our next game. And this is going to be over to the right side here for Casablanca. And Casablanca cross coming in. There's a chance for them. There's a shot by Lorch, and it just goes over. Wow, Lorch has been the best player for Casablanca by far, except for Amrabat, of course. He's been amazing. But that initial cross in there by, I think that was Mwalimu. Just make sure I'm pronouncing his name. I'll just call him Selemani. Selemani, amazing cross in. That Juve versus City game is going to be big. Yeah, I know. It's going to decide, really, who is going to verse one of the big tanky teams. If Salzburg actually managed to defeat Hilal, then, of course, that would mean that Salzburg would go to the top of the table, staying on 6 points, and they'd be through in first position. So, whoever gets second might actually verse Salzburg in this. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll want to lose to verse Salzburg. Yeah, goal difference may be key. Exactly. This might be a tournament here where if Hilal loses to Salzburg, Real Madrid draws to Salzburg, then whoever is in Group G will want to lose their game. So we could see own goals being scored, from the back, because I'm sure Salzburg's an easier opponent than Madrid. But yeah, That's going to be insane to watch that Juve City game. Definitely going to be insane. I don't put Salzburg, though, with much chance against the two giants in Group H because, to be honest, I feel like that they only scraped a win against Pachuca. They weren't even really close to getting that win there because Pachuca was so good. They actually possibly would have gotten a draw if they have, been a little bit better in the first half before that initial water break. But yeah, definitely close to getting a draw there, Salzburg, so not too great from them. I think both Group H and Group G, goal difference will be key for them. These are the groups that are going to have goal difference as the most key. Group F as well, I think. For Group F, Fluminense on 4 points, Dortmund on 4 points, and Sundowns on 3 points. That is going to be huge to see who gets through there. Olsen could pull an absolute stunner and win against Dortmund, which would mean that Sundowns and Fluminense would be through if they got a draw with each other. Because Olsen actually can still get through here, I think. No, they can't. Okay. No. No, because they've got 0 points, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Don't ignore what I said there. Did you know if Inter lost that previous game against Red Diamonds, they would have been the first team eliminated from this competition, but no, they did not. So that Inter are very lucky they got the win there. It was crucial. There's a chance for Thuram Ulian just passing it through there, and this is a very good chance for Juventus, and it's a brilliant tackle from, I think that was Butoy. Amazing tackle. And there is an injured player on the ground here for Wydad Casablanca. There's going to be the medic team coming on. What a chance by Juventus. Thuram Ulian, brilliant pass. And then, yeah, just first of all wins it. There's a dive from this Casablanca player. That is a very big dive. And then there just a bit too much pace shown by, I think that's Vlahovic. Yeah, Vlahovic, too much pace on that. Just kicked it a bit too far. Should have had a little bit more control. Done a dink over the keeper. That's what I think anyway. Thuram is the beast on and off the ball. Yeah, he is definitely looking good. I think he's better than his brother just based on the fact of how good he's been looking in some of these games. I haven't watched too many Juventus games, but he has been looking outstanding. There is a cooling break now. Cooling break. Make sure if you haven't already, guys, smash like and subscribe because it helps out. Do you see any chance of Seattle Sounders upsetting PSG tomorrow? The fact that Seattle have been the best MLS team, I would say, in this tournament, even though the results haven't shown it, they haven't got a win, but they have been the best MLS team in terms of, possession. They've just had hard opponents, really. Of course, Atleti, and they also had Botafogo, the winners of the Copa Libertadores. So Seattle really in an unlucky group in terms of opponents, but yeah, I don't see a win against PSG. They have been the biggest MLS team in terms of, they were playing so well. I did think that Atleti unfair win against them really, just based on, set-piece goals. Not unfairly given, like they deserve the win based on, they've been critical in the set pieces. But, Seattle maybe need to work on their set-piece defense a bit better because they should have actually got a result against Atleti just on their performance alone. Scoring that goal, they had a lot of chances. I think they hit the woodwork a couple of times, and they're offside for a couple. But yeah, Seattle definitely the best MLS team in the tournament at the moment, but not getting the results they would like. PSG need a win here, PSG, to secure the round of 16. Because as it stands, Botta and Atleti, I can see Botta winning against Atleti. They're just not good enough, Atleti, this season. In this tournament. So Botafogo win, and then PSG will need to get a win here to go second in the group, which is surprising. I did think PSG would finish first in the group, but yeah, they underestimated Botafogo too much. The PSG versus Botafogo game was too late for me to watch. Yeah, so it was a 1-0 win for Botafogo, and it was a huge underestimation from PSG. They played the B squad, like majority B squad players, and that was their biggest mistake. Not playing Nuno Mendes, who, for me, I think he should be a Ballon d'Or top 3 contender. I think he should actually be in the top 2, just on how great he is as a defender. I mean, left backs don't get enough credit in, these sorts of individual awards. He's got the pot for the Nations League. He also got bottom for a bunch of different crucial games in Champions League and that. But yeah, PSG underestimating them in the halftime, then bringing on 5 subs all at once, basically. And that was really where their downfall began, because Botafogo then just played park the bus / counters with Igor Jesus. The initial goal by Bota was brilliant by Igor Jesus. He hit the Kamehameha celebration from Dragon Ball, which you love to see. But yeah, definitely Botafogo, crucial win for them, because it's literally basically, established that they're going to go to round of 16. I don't see them losing to Atleti unless, Alvarez pulls a stunner and shows up. Atleti's real crucial player is going to be Julian Alvarez in these games. They're just not good on the defense, though. They need Andy Robertson, like they were going to try and sign him. I did see that. Andy Robertson would be amazing on that left-back side for Atleti, because that's where they're weakest on the right-back and left-back positions. So they do need, some quality in there. Simeone was very good for Atleti as well in their previous game against Seattle. He was very good. Nuno Mendes, when he came on for PSG as well against Botafogo, almost all the chances for Bota stopped, and that's why he is so good. Barrios was great last game. Yeah, he was great, Barrios. He was very good, creating a lot of, chances and stuff, and definitely I feel like that Barrios was the key player for Atleti, really, in the set pieces, and, he was almost playing like a poacher at some certain points there, even though he was in the midfield, And here's a long ball by Juventus trying to find a cross, and that's going to go out for a throw-in for Casablanca. Lineups have been released for Real Madrid versus Pachuca, and here I'll read the lineups to you guys. Here we go. Here is the lineups for Real Madrid versus Pachuca. So, Courtois will be playing in goal. Fran Garcia, left back. Dean Huijsen, left centre back. Asensio, right centre back. Trent, right back. Please do not sub off Trent, Zabi. I don't know what you were doing last game. Tchouameni, DM. Bellingham, Valverde, Cams, Vinny, Ardagula starting. Thank goodness you are starting Ardagula. And Gonzalo Garcia as the striker. Unfortunately, Rodrigo didn't make the team as a starter. I would have played him instead of Vinny on the left wing, just because Rodrigo's been, a very good team player, always trying to contribute. He would do well on the left wing, his preferred side. So, yeah, but we'll see. Zabi's testing out a new lineup here. Of course, Mbappe is missing, and he's going to be a big loss again in the striker position. Though I think, really, that Mbappe would perform way better on the left wing, like way better. It is his natural position, and he is just so good as a left winger. We saw him in PSG. He literally carried PSG in some Champions League matches solo, just him carrying them. But yeah, I feel sorry for him that they won the Champions League when he left. I don't think it was his problem. I think it's just that the squad got really, developed with some of these young players. Of course, Desire Doué coming through, Dembele going into his prime, and Nuno Mendes just going into an absolute beast. So yeah, a bit unlucky for Kylian, but hopefully he comes back for the next game against Salzburg, because he'll be crucial there. Get well soon, Kylian. And this is going to be a Juventus ball, I think. Yes, Juventus goal kick. And it's going to be taken by Di Gregorio's. Yeah, Di Gregorio's just going to receive a pass there. I thought he was going to take it. No, he just gets the pass received to him by Savona. And now this is a little chance here for Thuram Ulian. Thuram Ulian is very good. I will say that. Sorry, just getting the mumbled on the words. There, but Thuram Ulian so good on winning the ball back for Juventus, and we just saw it there again with his, very aggressive style of, just going in there and taking it and then bringing up forward. He is just so good, Thuram, in this game. Amazing player. Smash like for Thuram. And this is going to be now a chance for Casablanca, just nicely tackled and won back on the left side there for Juventus. And there is going to be another injury here. It looks like that. Casius Mailula is down. No, wait, who is this? It's number 18, Mufi. Mufi is down. Couldn't really see the number there, unfortunately. And just getting some medical treatment here. So now with the Real Madrid lineups out, you guys can decide who you think is going to, how many the score is going to be against Pachuca. Pachuca playing a similar lineup to last time: Moreno, Rodriguez, Borman, Pereira, Gonzalez, Montiel, Palencino, Figueroa, Bautista, Kennedy, and Rondon. Like Gula coming into midfield and controlling the game from there. That's where I think he'll be best. Yeah, hopefully Gula and Valverde will alternate in positions, you know. That's why I do think can happen. I think Arda will go, drop inverted into the midfield, and then Valverde is playing, a very high RAM. He will go up to the right wing position and allow Gula to come in and then maybe, provide some chances there. That's why I can see happening for Real. There's only 7 minutes left of regular time, by the way, guys. This match flew by. Absolutely flew by. I love how the first opening match of round 3 as well, which is happening later tonight, is going to be Atleti versus Botafogo, because that's basically going to decide if Atleti can get into the round of 16. I don't give them much of a chance, though, unless, again, they pull a stunner. I didn't realize Rondon plays for Pachuca. Yeah, haven't seen him for years. Yeah, Rondon playing for Pachuca, yeah, definitely. He's going to be crucial as their captain to provide a little bit of emphasis on the attack, because, of course, he's playing the striker position. He was good for, River Plate, Everton. He actually played for Liga MX All-Stars as well. I don't remember that personally. And Newcastle as well. He's been, Rondon's been around the place, but he's now in Pachuca. Will provide them a attacking chance there. I think another sort of key player for them in the previous game was Luis Rodriguez on the right back, and Borman in the right centre back. They were very good against Salzburg. I think they silenced Salzburg a little bit in terms of attack on that side. Gonzalez on the left back also was pretty good. Really, the defense for Pachuca is great. On Al Hilal versus Salzburg, I think Hilal will get this done because they are so good. If we, you saw them in the last game, if you guys were watching that, with the tiki-taka play, they are just so good, Hilal, and especially Inzaghi bringing in, this style of play where you have Cancelo and Renan Lodi running up on the wings there and coming in to cross the ball to Salam and Milinkovic-Savic. Mitrovic isn't back yet. He's still injured. Caio Cesar isn't back yet for Al Hilal either. They would both be playing, of course, but they're not available. I think Hilal will get it done, maybe 3-1. I give Hilal, some goals here because they are just such a strong team. Maybe lacking, we'll see in the round of 16. I'm sure Hilal will get to the round of 16. They might be lacking the squad depth really to compete, though. Past the round of 16 maybe is where they might just win and then not get any further. But they don't really have squad depth to compete to the likes of Juventus and Man City. So this is going to be very hard for Hilal in terms of that. Do I see any upset happening? I think PSG's match against Seattle, I don't think there'll be an upset. I know Seattle is so good, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be an upset too much. And Real Madrid, no, I don't think that will happen. Madrid won't let that happen anyway, getting a draw against Pachuca, unless Pachuca play literally ultra defense the entire game, no attack whatsoever. That could maybe startle Real a little bit. 3-1 Juve at the start of the stream. Yeah, they might be correct. Who was that? Let's go up to the top. I'm going to see at the top here who predicted the... Yeah, CDF, 3-1. You predicted that, and you got the prediction correct. Congratulations for that prediction. That was insane. 3-1 Juventus Casablanca. I mean, there could be another goal here, but so far that prediction is standing to be correct. I was thinking 4-1, so maybe my prediction still can be correct here if Juventus get a goal. But we will see. This is going to be Cooper Miners taking the corner, and it's coming into the back, and it's just headed away by Casablanca. And there's a little bit of a tussle in the box, but Casa come away with it. And now it's going to be here with the ball on this right side. This is going to be Lorch. Lorch just finding some space, trying to cross over to that left wing side, but it's just a poor cross from him. No problem, Shub. Thank you for, tuning into this one, giving me some comments, because I love to read them. I love to, hear your guys' opinions. It's so good. It just makes my day. So, no problem. No problem. It's my duty. And this is going to be Pachuca just passing it around. Lorch now over to this right side here. Lorch actually, I think, tackles off his own player, which is kind of weird. But yeah, continuing on with play. This is now Juventus just getting the ball back through Kelly. Kelly's been good as well. He's been actually exceptional on that left centre-back side. And Kelly back to Di Gregorio. And the ball is trying to find out on that right side there. Locatelli. Locatelli just loses it, and it's a nice clean up there again from Mufid. Now this is going to be for Casablanca. The field's really opened up here, and that's a problem because you don't want the field opening up in the final minutes and throw away, you know, a possible lead here. Or a possible chance of coming back, you know. I mean, there's 2 minutes left of regular time, maybe 4 minutes additional. I don't think Juventus will lose, but still. The scoreline might depthen, you know. Watch online streamers, so the other streamers that don't even watch the game don't really interact with chat. Yeah, well, I just try and interact and watch it, provide some opinions, and then, of course, I love your guys' interactions. It's the best. Thank you really so much, Kieran. That message means a lot to me. Hearing that from someone, you know, just makes me feel so happy. If you had to pick one football club anywhere around the world that you wish could be playing in the tourney, who would have you liked to seen? I would have loved to see Napoli in this tournament. I would have loved to see them. That's without personal bias at all. Napoli would have been cool to see in this tournament. Just, you know, winning the Serie A, unique squad this season. That was a very good back heel. By the way, just interrupting myself there. Back heel by Locatelli. Brilliant. And there's a chance for Juventus just goes out. I would have loved to see, you know, Napoli, maybe Sporting. Sporting would be a good option as well coming here. Liverpool, with their current squad. Salah playing this tournament would be amazing. Yeah, Barca in this tournament as well, though. The reason I don't want them in here is because if they had been in in Real Madrid's group, or we would have faced them in the round 16, that would have been death for me. We are not good against Barca currently. But yeah, just seeing you know, those sorts of teams, the winning teams, maybe would have liked to see in personal bias, like for living in there and following the SPL, maybe Al Ittihad winning 2 leagues in a row, or not in a row. There was like a 1 year gap, and then winning 2 years and 2 leagues in 3 years. There, I can actually spit the sentence out. Yeah, they would have been interesting to see. Benzema, Diaby. I heard Pogba's actually going to Al Ittihad. So imagine that link up: Benzema, Moussa Diaby, Kante, Ayor, and Pogba. That 5-man French link up there. That would have been insane to see. What do I think about Botafogo versus Atleti? Atleti stand minimal chance against them. I think that Botafogo will win there pretty easily. I think maybe a 3-1. Just like this scoreline. Yeah, but definitely I would like to see more league winners. And that is an amazing save by Di Gregorio to keep Juventus with a 2-0 lead. With a 2-point lead, should I say. And what a header. That was so great by Wydad's number 2 there, who is Mufid. And there's a cross coming in from Wydad Casablanca. It's not great. That is not a great cross. Yeah, Di Gregorio, you know, a ton of saves. Really of high quality. He's been showing quality. The goalkeepers in this tournament, for all of them, have really been showing so much quality. Hi, Phil. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I am doing well. I hope you are. But yeah, I think Botafogo will win this pretty, you know, not easily, I would say, but win with a comfortable win. You know, so they're not going to be stressing near the end. I don't think it'll be easy for them at the start. But Atleti, we've seen with PSG, they just really fumbled near the end. And that's the same thing happened with Seattle. They were lucky the full-time whistle blew there because it looked like that Atleti were not going to have too much more possession, because Seattle started to look really dangerous by the end of that game. Like in the 70th minute, they turned a light switch on and started going all out there. Let's actually see. I think that Seattle goal was scored like in this, you know, the 70th minute time there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was the 50th minute. They did score after Atleti at the 55th, but at near the end, if you look at the possession graph, at the momentum graph, you'll see Seattle had such high momentum near the end of the game. Atleti had none past the 75th minute. There was no momentum for Atleti. And this is about complacency. We saw as well PSG Atleti 2 goals after the 80th minute. So, yeah, complacency for Atletico is not great. And this is going to be a throw-in for Juventus with, 3 minutes left of additional time. Maybe 1 goal to make my prediction incorrect of a 4-1. As it stands, though, the 3-1 is the most likely here because Casablanca are doing good defense. And this is now in the box, the ball for Juventus. And it's going to be a penalty for Juventus. What a call by this referee here. That is a fair call. And Casablanca kind of thrown away a unnecessary penalty there. No real need to do this. Yeah, no real need to, cause a penalty like that. Just let let some space because the game's basically lost. There's no real need to actually even, give away your 2-goal lead. To give away 2-goal deficit, make it a 3-goal deficit. Now it's really the heroics of Benabid to not make this go to a 4-1. I mean, I'd love to see my scoreline being predicted there. But yeah, penalty for Juventus. Who's going to take this one? It looks like Vlahovic will take another goal for goal difference potentially. Yeah, this is going to be important for Juventus, especially to secure that first place spot. So they have to play second in the group. I think Al Hilal will be maybe a better choice for Juventus to play because Juventus obviously have faced Inzaghi's teams before in terms of Inter. So maybe they can, have a little bit better tactics at going against them. Here we go. Vlahovic. Is this going to be a goal? Vlahovic scores, and that is a brilliant goal. Bottom right bins. The keeper actually dives the right way there. So props to Benabid for, going the right way. Vlahovic does slot that home, though, and it's a 4-1 for Juventus, and I don't see another goal happening unless, of course, it's like very quick. There's about 30 seconds left of additional time, and that is the goal difference going up by +3 for the end of this game. And what a penalty there. Vlahovic, very good in his stutter run-up, and yeah, just slots it home at the bottom right corner. Benabid, good dive. He should have dove a little bit further. Yeah, well played. Yeah, score prediction, I can't believe I got it. But well played to Casablanca, really, for getting a goal here, Well played to the goalkeeper, Benabid. I feel like some of the goals, there was a deflection, and then the penalty, of course, is very going to be hard to save. So he did pretty good. Lorch, my man of the match for Casablanca, but player of the match in total for Juventus, I'm going to have to give that to Yildiz. He's just been so good. He technically scored a hat-trick. Thuram Ulian a close second, really, as well. Off the ball and on the ball, he is amazing. And this is going to be full-time there at this stadium, the Lincoln Financial Field. And it's going to be Juventus 4, Wydad Casablanca 1. Well done to both teams there. Well done to Casablanca getting their first goal of the tournament. And yes, score prediction, let's go. One of the, accurate score predictions as of late. I predicted most of the start score predictions as good for the earlier games in this tournament. But yeah, they've been so unpredictable lately. That's nice to, get one here with a 4-1. And thank you so much, guys. We will be live again in 1 hour for the Real Madrid versus Pachuca game. Otherwise, thank you for watching this one. And make sure to like and sub up. And I'll see you in the next stream, guys. W's. Juventus are a dark horse for Club World Cup now in your books. Yeah, definitely a dark horse. But yeah, see you guys in a bit. Goodbye and thank you.